In the last video, we followed a group of entrepreneurs, EasyCare, whose idea for a cancer care platform failed to deliver the impact they had expected. We've put forward a case for design thinking, the methodology and a set of principles with the potential to help ordinary people create extraordinary things. In this video, we're going to explore each of those 5 design thinking principles in more detail. In the world of design, empathizing with your customers is key. You need to understand their needs, mindsets, beliefs, behaviors, and their environment. How to empathize effectively is a skill that can be mastered, but it requires a ton of practice. Start by building your emotional intelligence. Step out and observe people in the real world. Ask often, what is it like to be you? Ask questions, lots of them. Take notes of their plans and frustrations. What are their needs? Constantly revisit your biases and assumptions. What you think may not be how they feel. If EasyCare had started with empathy, they might have noticed that cancer patients have a lot to do already. If they had empathized a little better, they would have noticed that it was actually the patient's caregivers, family, friends, or social workers that were keeping track of all the information from different places for the patient. Cancer care typically requires a community of support and responsibility. It's just too much for the patient to bear. Be constantly curious about your customer. You can always learn more, no matter what phase of the project you're in. When you are confident that you have enough information, move to the next step. Define what the real problem is that you want to try and solve. Don't jump into solutions yet. In order to address the problem, you first need to love it. You can use design thinking tools like blueprints and stakeholder maps to create clarity on your processes and connections across your team. This will help you frame the problem from a holistic point of view. Have you thought about how your product truly delivers positive impact? Think first about your user needs, but also be mindful of your business goals and technology feasibility. For EasyCare, they were so eager to help patients, they missed the critical step of really understanding why cancer care was complicated. It simply involves a lot of people: doctors, nurses, social workers, family, friends, and the patient themselves. How might they provide the best in-care cancer resources and tools for all involved to better help the patient? This "how might we" statement is a great way of framing the problem for the next step, ideation. Now that you have a better understanding of your customers and a clearly defined problem, it's time to think about solutions. The most important thing to recognize here is that there is always more than one way to solve a problem. For the design thinker, the best first approach is to generate as many ideas as possible. What features will allow EasyCare's users, the caregiver, to understand, track, and action care? They had already thought of checklists and instructional videos. But what about a chat feature? This would reduce the need to text, email, or use other channels. All conversation about the patient's care could be had and tracked in one place. When our entrepreneurs launched their app, they were able to quickly uncover flaws and opportunities to improve, but not before going through an expensive and time-consuming process. A great way to learn about our users and minimize risk early on in the process is to prototype. Prototyping is about simulating specific moments of a customer experience. This helps us to test assumptions or empathize and learn how users feel and interact with certain features or products. It can be as simple as a sketch on a paper or as complex as a digital experience. It depends on what you want to test with it. The final principle is the most important of all: learning and testing. With the valuable insights that you gathered through your empathy exercises, Testing your idea with customers allows you to connect what you understand about them with your product idea. By observing them using your prototype in a natural setting, you're in a better position to determine if your product will be a success. And if immediate success is not apparent, testing it will hopefully uncover how you can pivot the idea towards success in the future. In monitoring what a lot of the conversations were about, EasyCare discovered that scheduling appointments took up a lot of time. A feature that allowed appointment booking would significantly improve the app. So, how should you apply these design thinking principles to your own projects? And how might you use the power of design thinking to build a more sustainable future? Follow the links in the video description for a wider range of tools, templates, and resources to help you empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. In the next video, we're going to highlight a real-world case study where design thinking had made a difference. We'll also discuss common pitfalls that you should be wary of so that you can begin your design journey today.